So, be honest guys, who saw that coming on Sunday night? Who saw Chelsea beating PSG last night in the FIFA Club World Cup final? I didn't. I did not see that coming at all. PSG have been absolutely steamrolling sides in Europe and in this competition as well. They're, of course, the Champions League champions. They are looking like the best side in Europe at the moment. I said, we're kind of in the start of the PSG era here, really young and exciting side. But another young and exciting side in the form of Chelsea. They've managed to do it. The Conference League champions are also world champions. They are officially the best team in the world. No doubt whatsoever. Cannot dispute that claim now. They've beaten the best. Therefore, they are the absolute best. But how did they do it? And are they actually worthy of the title of the best team in the world? Well, they've won the trophy. They are the world champions in the most literal sense. So, in that sense, you could definitely say so. But this still has to go down as an upset, and Chelsea fans will absolutely agree on that one. But let's not take away from their achievement. They were superb. Even Robert Sanchez, who is always derided as the weak link in that Chelsea side, and not without reason. His mistakes led to the most goals in the Premier League out of anybody last season. And here he was, pulling off some absolute worldies against PSG. There was one against Vitinha, I think midway through the second half, that you didn't even know that he saved it at first, but then you look at the replay and he just managed to get fingertips to. He was absolute quality last night to keep a clean sheet against the side. Like I said, they beat Real Madrid 4-0 to make the final in this. They beat Inter Milan 5-0 in the Champions League final literally a couple months ago. Here they are though, beaten 3-0 comfortably by Chelsea. They battered them. Let's have a look at the full story here, guys. I've got an article going over all of this on thefootballchronicle.com as always. PSG have dominated nearly every team they've faced in recent months, brushing past Bayern Munich and Real Madrid on their way to another final. But in New Jersey, it was Chelsea who redefined the script. Enzo Maresca's side dealt PSG a rare and comprehensive 3-0 defeat to claim the Club World Cup, with Cole Palmer scoring twice and assisting another for João Pedro. The Blues' intensity overwhelmed the French champions early and left former players, pundits and fans stunned. I can't believe what I'm seeing, said Andros Townsend while commentating for DAZN, echoing the disbelief felt across the ground. Full credit to Chelsea for their willingness to track the ball in this New York heat. Yes, and like this most of this tournament was, it was very hot for this one. It was sweltering over in the northeast. Technically the game was played in New Jersey, but is of course closest to New York City as this stadium. It's listed as a New York City stadium, is the MetLife Stadium. Ex-Wales international Gareth Bale added, PSG have been PSG'd. Palmer, who has revived his form from the right flank after a tough spell through the middle, proved central once again. On Sunday, he led the charge with an early double and helped stretch PSG's defence, particularly through tandem play with João Pedro. Chelsea's plan, according to Maresca, was based on early aggression and high pressure. The idea was go man to man, because if you leave spaces for PSG, they will kill you. So we tried to be very aggressive and suffocate them early on, and that intensity was crucial in the first 10 minutes, the head coach explained. The tactical plan relied heavily on targeting PSG's left-back Nuno Mendes, an approach that proved decisive, with Pedro frequently pulling into wide spaces to create an overload. We have had a lot of success exploring the left side of their defence, Maresca acknowledged post-match. Things worked perfectly for us due to the effort the players put in. I think Maresca also said that basically the match was also won in the first 10 minutes. They scored all their goals in the first half of the game, so it's easy to see where he's coming from on that one. The tactical plan relied heavily on targeting PSG's left-back Nuno Mendes, an approach that proved decisive, with Pedro frequently pulling into wide spaces to create an overload. We had a lot of success exploring the left side of their defence, Maresca acknowledged post-match. Things worked perfectly for us due to the effort the players put in. Townsend described it bluntly as a tactical masterclass. John Obi Mikel, watching as a pundit, added, "They've stretched this PSG defence. We've never seen a team do this to them." For Chelsea, the significance of the title extends beyond pride. With over £80 million in prize money and the right to wear the World Champions patch until 2029, the victory is both symbolic and financial. The fans will have bragging rights for the next 4 years, said Townsend. Nobody will be able to say anything to Chelsea fans because they are world champions. Well, I'm sure we'll find a way. English football banter, we'll find a way to say something about Chelsea. Don't you worry, Townsend. There's plenty to take aim at them about. Maresca, formerly of Man City's Champions League winning staff, was unequivocal about how the victory measured up. I feel this competition will be as important or even more important than the Champions League. Steady on, Enzo. I mean, it's a good win for you guys, but let's not go comparing this to the Champions League. Let's not go doing that. That's not fair. Come on. Allowing Chelsea fans to wear that World Champions patch on their shirts is a source of pride for us, he said. I agree with him there. It is a cool badge to have. But it doesn't mean as much as the Champions League or the Premier League. Probably not as much as the FA Cup either, to be honest, but we can debate about that another time. While critics have questioned Chelsea's spending under Todd Boehly, roughly £1.5 billion and counting, the results are beginning to form a clearer picture. With success in both the Europa Conference League and now the Club World Cup, Maresca's young side is starting to show signs of a team ready to compete at the highest level. Young teams learn, said Bale. They've shown a lot of character, confidence will be booming. With no player over 27 involved in Sunday's final, the pieces are in place, including rising names like Levi Colwill and Malo Gusto, and the upcoming arrivals such as Borussia Dortmund's Jamie Gittins and Brazilian teenager Estevão Willian. And by the way, that Estevão Willian, he is rated as being the best player to come out of Brazil since Neymar, which, if that's true, that is a scary prospect that they've just got right there. Chelsea's owner Todd Boehly embraced Maresca on the podium, a show of unity and belief in a side that, for the first time since the 2022 sanctions on the club under former owner Roman Abramovich, appears to be settled around a steady project. BBC Sports' Nazir Kinsella reported from New Jersey, "This is a new Chelsea, but one capable of winning again, and those involved want recognition for their achievements." I mean, we can criticise Chelsea all we want, and don't worry, we do. We criticise them a lot here on the channel, and not without merit, but, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as it were. You know, they have won a trophy in the form of the Conference League, which people say, well, that was a formality, and it was, but they still won it. They still had to win it, and they did. They did win it. They went behind in the final, showed great character to win that one. This, though, this definitely means more. I mean, I said about the Club World Cup not meaning as much as things like the FA Cup and stuff, right? Maybe a little tongue-in-cheek on that last bit, but, you know, this is actually a major trophy. You know, whether you like it or not, it is a major trophy. And they've won it. And they've won it against a major side as well, the European champions in the form of PSG. You could argue that maybe, you know, Chelsea were in the position to beat PSG because they didn't have as tough as a run-in to the final as what PSG did. And they didn't. You know, Chelsea didn't really face any top sides going towards that final. I mean, yeah, Fluminense and Benfica, you know, they're good teams. Come on. But they're not Bayern Munich. They're not Real Madrid. You know, Chelsea didn't really have a proper test until the final. Even in the group stage, you know, PSG had to beat Atletico Madrid, which is not an easy prospect, but they made it look easy. So if you ask me who was the best team through this tournament, PSG's probably been the most impressive team on the whole. But who are the winners? Chelsea. They got it done in the final. They absolutely... I mean, Townsend put it really well. It was a tactical masterclass. They absolutely destroyed PSG. Maresca would have been spending hours and hours, probably in the run-up to the final. You know, he would have been doing this at least from the quarterfinal stage. They would have been training in preparation for this because it's like, right, we're probably going to have to play against PSG. And if we do that, we're going to have to use these tactics to try and beat them. So they would have been training. They would have been preparing for that match and doing that in that heat as well. You know, it doesn't really get that hot here in the UK for the most part, although last week did get a bit ridiculous at times. But even so, nowhere near as hot as over in the States. But, you know, they travelled very well. They travelled very well, and they did really well in that tournament. I mean, João Pedro, what a signing he's been. What was it, 3 goals in 2 games? Very early days, but my word, what an addition he has been to the side. Really, really impressive. And Cole Palmer as well. I mean, you know, he started last season so well. He really did, and then just sort of tapered off, form just went. I don't know what happened to the guy. Maybe because he changed positions to be more central rather than playing wide. He clearly prefers to be playing wide though. And when he is playing wide, and obviously he was played in the middle because Chelsea was struggling for a consistent striker. Now they got Delap, and more importantly, they got Pedro as well. Pedro looks like a player for them. He really does. I think Delap's a great player too. So, you know, Palmer can now play out wide, and he is a scary prospect, man. 2 goals and an assist against PSG in a final. Phew. I love Palmer as well. You know, you gotta love his interviews. He swore in the post-match interview live on telly on the Zone. I mean, it was after the watershed, so I suppose it's all good relatively. Although they did apologise for it. You know, I mean, people love summing up Palmer. I've seen this a few times, saying that his lack of an aura is his aura, and it absolutely is. I mean, literally, his team has just won the World Championship effectively, but the first team to get their name on that new trophy, and the man's just not bothered. It genuinely, honestly, I looked at him and just thought, he wants a cheeky Chinese or something. He's looking forward to takeaway later. I genuinely think that was in his mind. Or like whatever restaurant they're going to go to. And they're going to go out in New York and have a good time. You got to celebrate that kind of win, aren't you? You know, I just love him. I just love him to bits. And as a footballer as well, he's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I'm happy for Chelsea. I'm happy for the Premier League that one of our sides has gone over there and won the trophy. You can question the significance of the trophy, of course. Totally get that. No problem there whatsoever. But they've won it at the end of the day, so it's got to mean something. But guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Chelsea fans, are you proud of winning this tournament? Are you happy about it? Is this something where you're going to kick on and improve even more? Get your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, have a fantastic day here on the world today, and we'll see you very soon.